guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to show you guys how I created this floral inspired spring nail set. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and let's go ahead and get right into it. To make the process easier for this nail set, I am going to have my full cover nail tips on these press-on nail stands from Amazon, and my full cover nail tips are from Dynamic Nail Supply. They don't have them on their website, but I will have their Instagram link so you guys can DM them asking about these. We're doing the lazy girl method way, so I'm going to be applying all of the product on the inside of the full cover nail tips. We're using shade 14 from Double Dip's Classic Edition Polygel Kit. Everything will be linked down below for you guys if you're interested. So taking some of the polygel, I'm just going to apply some on the full cover nail tip, and I'm going to be using my polygel brush. And as for my slip solution, I'm using the slip solution that came inside of their kit. You can use base coat or rubbing alcohol, and honestly works the exact same way. So to move the polygel around the nail, I'm going to first pat in place and then drag to where I want the polygel to be. You want to make sure the cuticle area is super thin and flushed. The middle of the nail has most of the product, and then the free edge is super thin so you don't lose your C curve. One tip that I can for sure give you guys when doing this method is to always make sure the cuticle area is flushed as possible. You do not need a whole bunch of product sitting on the cuticle area, because when you go to cure it onto your actual nail beds, it'll just have like a little hump of product sitting there, and it just won't look natural. It won't look flush to your actual cuticle area. So I do recommend you guys to do it as thin as possible. I also want to answer two questions that I get a lot. The first one being is, do we pop the full cover nail tips off after curing? Since we're doing the Femi Beauty Lazy Girl method, we're literally being as lazy as possible. We're not going to do much shaping or filing. So unlike dual forms, with dual forms you apply the polygel and then you put it onto your nail bed, you cure it, and then you pop off the dual form, and then you do your shaping and buffing and filing. With the lazy girl method, we're not popping it off. The full cover nail tip stays on throughout the whole entire nail set. That way we don't have to file or buff, and if we do, it's very minimal. So no, we do not pop off the full cover nail tip. Using these dried flowers from Dynamic Nail Supply as well as Double Dip's base coat, I'm going to apply some base coat, and without curing this, I'm going to apply the dried flowers. I wanted this nail to be a French tip, but I wanted the tip to be clear so you can just see the flowers. And as for the smile line and the full coverage of that area, I want it to be the same color as the rest of the nails. I do my smile line when doing polygel, it's super simple. I apply a bead of polygel at the cuticle area, and then using the round edge of my polygel brush, I just kind of tug and move the tip or the smile line up to where I want the smile line to be, and then the rest I obviously just smooth out. Super simple. I hope you guys kind of get how I explained it. It's much easier seeing than me explaining it, so I hope you guys get it. Making sure that my smile line is all nice and smooth and centered. I did apply some rhinestones later on in the video to the smile line, so it didn't really matter if it was as straight as I wanted it to be. Going into my middle finger, I'm going to be doing the middle finger, the ring finger, and the pinky all the same color. So I'm going to just let you guys watch this. I did do the ring finger and the pinky off camera just so it wasn't such a repetitive process. Into doing the peel off base coat, I'm going to apply some cuticle oil and top coat. First, applying the cuticle oil all over my nail beds, and then using a top coat that you do not mind getting cuticle oil mixed in with it. Apply that straight onto the cuticle oil and then cure for 60 seconds. The reason that I tell you guys to always make sure the cuticle area is thin and flushed as possible with product, because this will happen. Sometimes it's super easy to clean up, and depending on the polygel, it's super sticky and annoying and hard to clean. So make sure you apply thin amount of polygel to your cuticle area so it can look like the rest of my fingers and not be a mess like this one. Before curing, make sure you clean the side walls, the cuticle area, make sure it's straight, and then cure for 60 seconds. Apply these, I place down the cuticle area, apply some pressure onto the middle of the nail bed, make sure it's straight and clean around if you need to, and then cure for 60 seconds. Moving on to buffing and filing. Once everything has been cured, I'm going to apply some top coat to this area. I don't want dust to get underneath it. You can use clear polygel to encapsulate this, but top coat works perfectly fine for me. Once I have this on, I'm going to cure it for 60 seconds. On to buffing the tops of my nail beds. I got a question last time asking why do I do this. Sometimes I do get some polygel like residue on the tops of my nail beds, so just to make sure everything is nice and smooth, I like to go ahead and use this. You can use a buffing block or your actual nail drill with a sanding band. Both work amazing. Mentioned earlier in this video, when doing the lazy girl method and we are using full cover nail tips, you don't have to do much filing or buffing, but I like to go ahead and just redefine its shape if I feel like it needs to be, as well as the free edge, just using my 100-180 grit nail file from Double Dip. So I'm going to do this to all of the nails, making sure the free edge is nice and crisp and the side walls are nice and straight as well. Using this bit that I got off of Amazon, this is a safety bit, so the top does have a round point, that way you don't cut yourself. So this is a nail that had all the product pouring out of its side, so I like to go ahead and do this just to make sure everything is nice and smooth and I removed everything. You don't have to do this at all, I just like to do this extra step if needed. Make sure you dust away all the dust and clean your nails with some alcohol, or wash your hands or a alcohol pad just to remove all that dust before applying top coat, because you do not want to see those little dust particles when you go to add top coat. It just looks so ugly, to be honest with you guys. I'm also using the scrubber just to get all the little dust out from the cuticle area and my nails. We're gonna go ahead and add some decorations. These are from Dynamic Nail Supply. They have little caviar beads and different little flowers. We're also going to be using these rhinestones from Makartt. It's from one of their decor collections, so I will have a link down below for you. Using some top coat, I'm going to apply this onto the nail bed. This is what I'm using to adhere all of my stones and my little flowers. You don't have to use this. If I was going to have this nail set on for a long time, obviously I would use something else to adhere everything on there. And yeah, you guys, I don't keep this nail set on at all. I pop it off after the end of the video. Since I do use the peel off base method, it's super simple and easy. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys enjoy me doing this design on my ring finger. I did add some big flowers, small flowers, and some rhinestones in places that I feel needed it. Once I have majority of the design done, I'm going to cure it for 60 seconds. tell me why when I cured these and I took them out, they turned orange. When I tell y'all I was laughing, y'all, I was like, why did this happen? Eventually they'll turn back to its original color, but I'm like, bro, this looks so ugly. Like the orange with the pink, it just, I didn't like it, to be honest with you. I was like, what's going on, Dynamic? Why didn't you let me know this does this? But they do change back to its original color later on, kind of at the end of the video. I was just like, I was not feeling it. I literally died for like 5 minutes. I was like, no way, this just changed colors, because I thought it was gonna stay like this. I was like, okay, maybe the heat did something to the plastic. But no, girl, it turned back eventually. Literally eventually. It took forever. But moving on to my index finger, I'm going to apply some rhinestones on the smile line and then cure this for 60 seconds. To the middle finger, I applied some rhinestones to the cuticle area, and then both to my thumb and my pinky, I just did one little rhinestone in the center of the cuticle area. You guys, so I applied some cuticle oil and this is what they look like. I think they're absolutely beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, y'all.